It's another video here by the Tokyo real estate man, and with recent times here in the age of Corona, the gold and precious metals have now come into vogue again with all the money printing that's going on, and here in Shibuya, obviously that's no exception. And this is a place that's called Daiichi Shohin, and Daiichi is number one, and here it is Shohin, and Shohin is basically commodities. And this is a fairly big company that has an office here in Shibuya. I've passed by there probably, who knows, maybe thousands, literally thousands of times over the years, and I've never gone there. But recently I was looking at their display the other day, and I thought it might make an interesting video given the times that we're in right now. And this is the 1 kilogram bars that they do sell there, and as you see there, for roughly $65,000 or United States dollars, or as you say in Japanese, Rokusen gohyakukyujuichi man yen, you can get yourself 1 kilogram of gold. And it's really interesting right here. When I was looking at this picture, you can actually buy a ton. You can order a ton from them, and that'll only cost you about $65 million, as you say in Japanese, Rokujugo Oku En, or that would be $65 million, and you can purchase a ton of gold from Daiichi Shohin. So I guess if you're a central bank or very close to it, you can contact Daiichi Shohin here in Shibuya. Now, I was talking to the gentleman there because I went in there to talk to him, and his name is Mr. Uchida, or Uchida-san in Japanese. And we had a nice chat for a few minutes, and I asked them if they had, I was not allowed to enter the office given the protocol with the Corona scamdemic. Oh, my eyes, slipped my tongue, the Corona pandemic. I was not allowed to enter the office, but we did have a very cordial conversation about 5 minutes just out inside in front of the office, and I told them that I was that I had a store in the area, that I owned a few apartments in the area, and that I had a very small YouTube channel, and I might be interested in making some videos about Daiichi Shohin. And we talked about it, and the business, and gold in general, and the markets, and outlook for precious metals and its prices, given all the money printing that's going on right now. And on a very important level, they don't really have anything for the normal consumer there. I'm a patron of Ishifuku in Kanda, or I've been to Tanaka Ginza one time in their Yokohama store. This is going back into the early 2000s, but I have dealings with Ishifuku in Kanda, so I always went there. But they don't have any smaller. They don't have any smaller 1 ounce sizes, or like they would for the regular consumer investor in precious metals, and they only deal in gold. I asked them if they deal in any other precious metals, and they don't have any other dealings in palladium or platinum or silver. But if you do go to Ichifuku and Kanda, those are the 4 metals that they deal with. They have a whole, from what I understood with the conversation upstairs, is that they are commodities traders, and they sell contracts in oil or wheat or all kinds of contracts. Anyhow, they do have a website too, so if you would actually like, I didn't take a picture of it, but it is daiichi.co.jp, I believe I saw on one of the windows. Anyhow, a very nice conversation. I asked him on a personal level, he was an investor in precious metals, and he said that he did have a few kilograms that he had bought, but when he bought the kilogram bars, he bought them in 2004, and he had bought them for, I guess, about 1/5 the price that they're going for now. So that would be around a hyakuman, and I guess I'm not exactly sure the details, as I'm sure he isn't either, as it was 16 years ago. But since that time, he has not continued to purchase precious metals, and I'm just guessing that he looks to be about 50 years old, the same age as me. So I'm imagining that most of his wages and money and his savings that is going toward a family, or perhaps he has bought himself a residence, and so he's spending most of his money on supporting his family. And that's totally speculating there. So maybe like a serious purchase of 1 kilogram of gold right now could be a very serious thing for him to do, and just beyond and just out of his personal reach to deal with it, where it might have been 15, 16 years ago, that might have been at a point where he didn't have kids and a family, and he was at a different point in the consuming cycle. Anyhow, we'll move on to this next. This again was in their window right here. It's a very interesting one here. If we look here to the top left of the field, the picture here taken right here, we have the price of gold in US dollars, and it says here from them, it says Saiko atai made 370 $370 or $27. So $327 off the 2011 high, and they have a chart here, so it's just, and that's based in dollars. Okay, and now the dollar chart here is recorded in troy ounces, okay, which is what the English world tends to use for the gold spot price. But here in Asia, you'll see here, everything goes off the gram. And now, if I'm not mistaken, as I remember, I'm not a gold bug anymore, but I used to be. 1 troy ounce is 31 grams, if I'm not mistaken. So we're looking here, this next chart here on the very bottom right here, Chugoku, which is China, right there. And the Chugoku, or Chinese renminbi, okay, this is the price in renminbi. And Saiko atai made, or, I'm sorry, let's get that off there. We're just 31 renminbi off the high, or the 2011 high in renminbi right now. Now, coming here, we come to the middle of the chart, and it says Saiko kakaku ga Saiko atai. Yeah, so basically it's just saying right now that it's an advertisement in the front window trying to win people over to as customers, but doing it in the form of a chart. And I can tell you where their location is. I'm sure that every day, probably 10 or 20,000 people pass by the window every day, probably like without any consciousness, with where the gold price is, because I just don't think it's on the awareness of the radar of the Japanese people. That's just could be my personal opinion. It's big, because I've always been interested in looking at this kind of stuff. So when I see something like that, I stop and look at it, but I often don't see people stopping and looking at it there. And I've passed there literally thousands of times myself. Now this is the price in euro, and it says right here that right now in euro the gold price is at all-time high. Okay, and this chart is from the year of 1999 onward. Now in the very bottom right portion of the advertisement, here we have it in yen, and here we have the chart is again in grams, and this is an interesting chart because it actually goes from the 1970s, okay, and then you have the spike here in 1980 at 6,495 or Rokusen 495 yen per gram, and that was in January of 1980, and you see the chart right there. And before that run-up, you see right there in 2004, that's when Uchida-san purchased this 1 kilogram there of gold. And as you see here, it says, Reikishijo Saiko atai made, like according to Reikishijo, the first characters here is historical. So says we're 872 yen off the historical high of gold in Japanese yen. Okay, so here is 56.23, which is that 1 ounce here. But you can see here before the devaluation, the currency devaluations of the yen in with Plaza Cores in the mid 80s, the actual high in yen was during the 1980 bull market at 6,495 yen. okay? And we're just 872 yen off that high, okay? So in order to get the high in ounces, you would have to times that times 872 times 31. So we've got some way to go to get to the, no, it can't be that from the, at least in ounces, price in ounces is different, but you can see the high right there is 1980. Okay, is at a different point. Okay, and don't forget they had the Plaza Accords, which what did it strengthen the yen or devalue the yen? And the currency manipulation there in the 1980s. Actually, something I do need to study to look at some of the Plaza Accords and how it affected the yen. But we are just 872 yen off per ounce, per gram, off that high right there. Anyhow, this is another video here by the Tokyo Real Estate Man looking at the company Daiichi Shohin here in Shibuya, and looking at the gold price as it relates to yen and the consciousness of the Japanese consuming or the Japanese investor. Whether this is I used to be a gold bug. I'm not really a gold bug anymore. I'm a real estate bug or a Volkswagen van bug. I prefer other kind of hard assets that are more usable. But if I'm not against to get some gold or anything like that. I think it'd be a kind of a good time. But I think I look at gold as a good succession strategy of trying to skirt around the taxes that goes around when I was going to die. If I were to have some money, as opposed to money, I'd prefer probably to have that in gold, as that is something that's less trackable, so that you can avoid the inheritance taxes, anything like that. Anyhow, this is another real estate video or another gold video here by the Tokyo Real Estate Man. Inviting you to follow this channel, or you can stop by my shop here in Shibuya and pick yourself up some cool Shibuya t-shirts. Thank you very much.